People say all the time, Salt Lake City is full, stop moving here. But here's the reality. More than ever, people are packing up their bags and relocating to Utah. In this video, I'm gonna explain why. So what's really going on? Why are so many people choosing to relocate to Utah over places like California, Colorado, or Arizona? And what does this mean for the locals? So if you're thinking about moving to Salt Lake City, or you just want to know what all the hype is about, make sure to stick around to the end of the video. I'm breaking down exactly why so many people are flooding to Salt Lake City and what it means for the Utah real estate market. Hey guys, I'm 𝐂𝐓'𝐒. I'm a local real estate agent here in Utah, and I help people move here all the time. I hear from people every week of why they're relocating to Salt Lake City, whether it's for a job move or higher quality of life, or they want to be in a family-friendly environment. If that's you, make sure to reach out to me in my description is below. We'd love to help you make that smooth move to Salt Lake City. Now let's talk about exactly why so many people are moving to Salt Lake City. This neighborhood is a great example. Right now, we're in what's called the 9th and 9th neighborhood. So 900 East, 900 South. Tons of shopping centers around here. Lots of really cool local restaurants, boutique stores. People love to come to this area and just walk around. Even on days like today, when it's cold in the middle of winter, you still see a ton of people walking around enjoying this part of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City has always been a great place to live, but it's kind of evolved from this underrated underground market that people knew about to exploding in popularity. And there's one word to explain this: opportunity. We're seeing a ton of growth in the job market, in the healthcare, tech, finance industry, especially in 𝐒�HI and the Silicon Slopes, which is Utah's version of the California Silicon Valley. You have massive companies like Adobe establishing headquarters there, bringing in tons of employees from across the country because of the booming job market. This is bringing in a ton of high income earners and even remote workers that can live anywhere they want to, but they choose to live in Utah. I'm gonna explain in this video why that is. And it's not just about the job market. People are relocating to Utah for the outdoor lifestyle, the easy access to the mountains, the lower cost of living compared to other metro markets. Even the culture that Salt Lake has to offer is really attractive to a lot of different demographics. Now, for those that have lived in Salt Lake City for a decent amount of time, a lot of them have noticed this change. And I gotta be honest, a lot of locals are not happy about it. In fact, I hear this all the time in the comments of the YouTube channel of people encouraging others not to move to Utah because it's getting more overcrowded. The biggest complaint I hear about is the home prices. Now, just a few years ago, you could buy a house in Salt Lake for $350,000, and the median home price has pretty much doubled since then. Even though it's still less expensive than a lot of other markets out there, it's become so expensive that a lot of locals can't even break into the housing market. Traffic is another big complaint I get all the time, especially along I-15, which is the main freeway here. Because so many people have been moving here so recently, the infrastructure just hasn't quite caught up, especially in areas like northern Utah County and downtown Salt Lake. More people equals more congestion equals longer commute times. And then there's a cultural shift. Salt Lake has historically had a pretty unique identity, especially with its religious history. And with so many out-of-state people moving here, changing the culture, some people are okay with it and other locals absolutely hate it. All right, let's talk about the fastest growing suburbs in the Salt Lake City area. If a lot of people are moving here, where are they moving from, right? Well, you're getting a lot of people relocating to the really fast growing suburbs like 𝐒�HI, Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, even some areas of Salt Lake County like Harriman, Riverton, and South Jordan. Now, the reason why these areas are growing so quickly is because you're seeing a lot of land development in those parts of the city. So when you have more land available, more construction, you're seeing an influx of people moving to those areas because you can get new construction, you can usually get a bigger lot, a newer house, and a bigger home for the same price as you could in traditional areas like downtown Salt Lake. Now, if you're looking for even more affordable areas, you might have to go a little bit further out from downtown Salt Lake City, where it's a little bit more rural, places like Tooele on the other side of the Okra Mountains, or up north in Davis and Weber County, which are still growing quite rapidly, and you can get a bigger, newer house for around the same price. Another aspect that makes new construction such a great buy in 2025 is because a lot of these builders are offering buyer incentives with things like covering their closing costs or buying down their interest rate, making it much easier for buyers to break into the housing market. The downside is a lot of these builders have wait lists and prices continue to rise. Now, to give you a quick example, I've recently had a client relocate to Utah from California for work reasons, and they were sick of the high prices, the insane taxes, and all the traffic congestion in California. They were able to buy an $800,000 house in Draper, a really popular suburb of Salt Lake City. That same house, $800,000, 5 bedrooms, would have cost them well over $1.5 million in California. Now, not only are people moving to Salt Lake City, but when they do move here, they're not leaving. I think when people relocate to Utah, they realize, wow, this is a phenomenal place to raise a family. I enjoy the outdoors, I enjoy the culture, and they end up never leaving. The outdoor activities is unmatched. You could be skiing in Park City in the morning and then go to downtown Salt Lake for a nice dinner. It's really hard to find that. Even in a place like Denver, you end up driving hours just to get to the ski resorts, whereas in Salt Lake City, it's basically in your backyard. The restaurant and entertainment scene is also growing fast. Salt Lake isn't just a bunch of national parks and ski lodges. You're seeing tons of new entertainment pop up. You're even starting to see some of the liquor laws get less stringent. Probably a trend we'll likely continue to see in the future. Plus, Salt Lake City is one of the safest and cleanest cities statistically compared to other major metro markets. Another reason why a lot of people want to move here and raise a family. So will Salt Lake City continue to grow? Absolutely. The job market is growing, the quality of life is high, and despite rising prices, it's still one of the best places to live in the West. But is it the right fit for you? Well, it really depends. If you're looking for an active lifestyle, more affordable living, outdoor recreation, it could be the perfect fit. But if you don't want to deal with rising house prices and more congestion, then it might not be the right fit for you. Either way, if you're debating a move to Utah, my team and I can help. We would love to be the local boots on the ground for you and give you some perspective on what it's actually like to live here. So shoot me a text or an email, give me a phone call. We'll love to help you make that smooth move to Salt Lake City. We'll see you in the next video.